Celtics lose Game 5 of the NBA Finals. However, one silver lining that you could take away from this, the Celtics with 8 straight threes in the second and then going into that third quarter. Let's take a look at our Shaw's highlight. It's presented by Shaw's, perfecting the art of fresh. And the Celtics with those 8 threes, consistent threes going into that third quarter. They had 3 in that second quarter, 5 in that third quarter, and everything seemed to be working for them at that point. Scout, that's when they seemed like they were having some momentum. So maybe what silver lining could you pull out from at least that moment of the game?
They moved the ball and played with some energy defensively, but to say you played good for 8 minutes in NBA Finals, I don't know if that's I get it. They made shots, but that's not enough.
What are you thinking, Eddie?
Ain't no silver lining.
Yeah.
No such thing as no silver lining. Not in the NBA Finals Game 5. You come out, lay an egg in the first quarter, lay an egg in the fourth quarter. Don't play well just because you had a spurt there where your man went on a run where you knocked down some shots. There's no such thing as no silver linings and no such thing as no participation award. You are not going to remember if the Celtics lose this, nobody's going to be like, man, well, they did that. You know, they made 8 straight threes in Game 5.
Well, it is an NBA Finals record. I will say that. Definitely not a silver lining coming out of this matchup, but something, Perk, that maybe the Celtics and maybe fans could point to.
Robert Williams and Hart. You know, out there playing 50%, 60%. Fully not healthy, going out there giving it his all. But other than that, it's just, you know, recognizing the real, right? And just seeing where, you know, it becomes these situations where it becomes a kind of sort of humbleness where you got to go back to the drawing board and say, I'm really not where I want to be yet. Right? It's different levels to this stuff. Yeah. And when we start to talk about, you know, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, the young stars, you know, we got to start really putting it in perspective until they really show us that they're able to take it to that next level, which they have at times, but not consistent.
Right.
Right? It hasn't been consistent. That's been the story all season long. And so when I look at it right now, I'm like, okay, where's one at? I never in my wildest dreams, I'm going to go back to it, would have thought that this series would have came down to Andrew Wiggins outplaying Jason Tatum. Andrew Wiggins, like, he's outplaying him right now.
And Perk makes a really good point, Scout. How much is this series a reality check for the Celtics going up against a Warriors team with championship pedigree?
Yeah, but Andrew Wiggins doesn't have championship pedigree.
But he's around champions.
Yeah.
That tends to rub off on you.
Amina got me right there.
I'm just saying. Look, I mean, as a Tampa Bay Buccaneers of Tom Brady, you train with a champion, you become a champion. That's all I'm saying.
You're right. I'm distraught. I'm right now like the Celtics in the fourth quarter. Like, I don't know how to respond to your 18-2 run saying he around Steph Curry. You're right. Like, I don't like to use that because we've seen young teams do it before. We've seen people in their first time go out there and do it. But I don't want to go down like the Bucks.
Warriors.
Well, the Bucks last year.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't and then they were, you know. So, but to this game in particular, I just didn't feel like the way we were playing, there was nowhere where that's going to lead to us winning that game.
I got a silver lining.
Go ahead.
This series is really not over. I mean, it's still 3-2. It's the first to 4. And now you're going back to Boston. And let's see how they respond. That's one thing I've learned since being in the media is not to count a team out. It's still until they get to 4 wins. I did it last year when Phoenix went up 2-0. And the way that they went up 2-0, the Bucks, I was like, no way. Bucks came back and won 4 straight. So we all going back to Boston on Thursday. I know what we saw. We saying, hey, we don't know if they could do better. They continue to do the same habits, but this series still ain't over.
But I want to see this. This is what I want to see. I want to see where's our dogs at? Where are those killers? And when they pushed into a corner right now, and when a dog get pushed in the corner, he do one or two things. Either going to cower up and keep getting kicked, or it's going to come out biting. And I want to see what we going to do.
One thing I can say, when they were down and they backs was against the wall against the defending champs, they came out biting.
Right. Well, I want to see it because we've seen it before, but that's over with. It's done. It's over and done.
No, but
it's right now.
If a dog bite one time, he got it in him to bite again.
Well, I mean,
series not over, so you can still see it. The series not over.
So you telling me they growling right now about to bite?
They gonna come back and bite. fight on Thursday when we get inside a TD Garden.
What was Game 5? What was that? What was?
He said they growling. They growling now. They about to let you.
They about to let it loose. They about to let it loose in Game 6. That's what Perkins
They growling.
Wait, hold on. How did we get here? All right, well, the Warriors bench, they outscored the Celtics 31-10. Eddie, when you take a look at the bench play of the Warriors versus the Celtics, what stood out to you?
Just more energy. They play with more energy. Okay, so Jordan Poole come off. We know he a walking bucket. So he coming to get money. So it's not surprising that he's going to have more points than some of our guys like Peyton Pritchard or maybe a Derek White, or he can match Derek White. But when you look at Gary Payton II, he's not known as a scorer. He had 15 points, all off of hustle plays. Marcus Smart on a baseline. It wasn't even a baseline. It was a deep corner out of bounds play. And it was a dead ball. Enough time for you to understand where your player is at, what you need to be doing. He loses sight of Gary Payton, gets back cut, and then there's a layup. So to me, it's like they're just playing with more energy. They're a little bit more focused than our bench players. Our bench players coming in almost like deer in headlights. Like, man, like how these lights is, these bright, right? But we ain't shying from them, right? We standing right in front of them. It look like some of them, it's like they might be a little too bright. I mean, Grant Williams is an AP. I seen a picture of him.
Where?
It was on a light pole, on a piece of paper like this. They said, where is Grant Williams at?
What kind of face did he have? He was.
Perk, you seem confident that the Celtics, they can make something shake in this series. That this series is not over.
No. I mean, I didn't say I felt confident.
I mean, you said the series ain't over.
That's a fact. I just base my opinion upon the fact the series is not over.
You see how he danced around that?
I didn't say one bit that I felt confident or comfortable in the Celtics. Now look, they're going back home. We hoping that they go out there and lay it all out on the line. Do I believe Steph Curry could go back and duplicate a 43-point wing dinner in the Garden again? No, I don't believe so. Do I still have faith that Jason Tatum can be the best player in one of these games, and hopefully it's the Game 6? Yes. But I'm not just confident that they're just going to just win the game. I'm not, but I know the series.
I don't even want to follow that up. Can that? Yes.
He said, I'm just stating a fact that the series is not over. I like how you tried to play both sides on that, but I'll let you go on that one, Scal. Just what are you looking for in Game 6 from the Celtics on Thursday?
So they can't play the style of basketball that they played today. That can't happen. They got to play faster. They got to get into their sets faster. And if they're fatigued, then they're not going to win, because you're not going to beat this Warrior team, going at them one inside the paint, kick it out one time. You got to attack multiple times. So if they're fatigued, then this thing is over.
Yeah.
But if they could play with some energy, get the crowd going, play a little bit faster, then yes, they have a really good chance of extending it to 7.
Fatigue should not be even something anybody talking about, because everybody's tired. We tired, right? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody, a long season.
Everybody.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Everybody, you ain't cold out here?
No, I'm good.
Not saying you walking slow from over there.
I'm good, but speak for yourself. You may be tired.
Everybody tired out here. Stop it. They tired over here. They've been out here all day, too. Been setting everything up. But there's no excuse. We here, and we got to get it done, and we got to put the best product up out there, right? At the end of the day.
Are you tired?
Not like.
See, he is. See, he said not like. There we go. Thank you.
I'm not tired.
At the end of the day.
I can't,
but,
bring the A energy for the show.
And if you, that's not what I'm saying either.
Oh.
But, and if you in the NBA Finals, what I'm saying is there is no excuse for that. There's no excuse to be like, oh, there's fatigue, I'm tired. It's the NBA Finals. You got 3 games, well, 2 more left now.
I'm tired of these fans behind me.
Yeah, that's what we are tired about. But you got 2 more games left, right? And you got to bring it. There ain't no such thing as fatigue at this particular time. Nobody wants to hear about fatigue. Nobody wants to hear about the Warriors are just as fatigued.
She asked you about what are you at? Where's your confidence level? Don't get about being tired.
My confidence level is at an all-time low right now. I ain't going to lie to you.
I really thought that Eddie was setting up to say an all-time high. Yeah. I'm about to say, I expect that because Eddie's confidence is always high.
I'm at an all-time low because I didn't like how they messed up Game 4, and then they came out here with lackluster effort at the beginning, that doesn't give me confidence. Then you play well in the third quarter and then come back with the same effort that you started the game with in the fourth quarter. That is not encouraging to me at all. And again, I mean, at an all-time low. And I'm always optimistic.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But right now,
Yeah,
I mean, you have to be worried. I take a look at Game 4, and I really feel like, although Steph Curry performed out of his mind in Game 4, I still feel like that was a game that the Celtics could have won, and they could have gone up 3-1 in this series. And then you come out to San Francisco, lose a crucial Game 5. I mean, those are 2 strikes in this series.
Sure.
I don't know if there are going to be any more opportunities for the Celtics to have a chance.
Well, they got one more on Thursday.
Yeah, you have another one, but
Yeah.
but at the same time, though, look at how they're playing at this point in the series. You can't. I mean, you all just sat here and say you're not confident.
No,
you squandered 2 opportunities. You can't be confident.
What was they sounding like, Perk? They was growling?
Nah, but and Amina, you're right, because see, the thing about the Celtics is they disrespect the basketball guards too much with the way that the careless play.
Playing with the game.